Senator Manchin joins me now for his first TV interview since Biden announced he's dropping out of the race. That was a lifetime ago, Senator.
Good morning, Casey. How are you?
Good morning. I am well.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Sure thing.
So, Senator, are you running for president?
Well, let me just put it this way. The calls and everything that's coming in is not quite sure unless they see a process where they really are. As things changed any at all, and a coordination and doesn't always basically produce, I think, the strongest, if you will, the strongest team. Very well, Kamala could be that person, and I think going through some sort of a process would have been very enlightening to everybody. So I'm pursuing the process. I really believe strongly, along with, I think that former President Obama and Speaker Nancy Pelosi both think there should be a process. They spoke out about that. And, you know, you're going to find out, as number two, you know, you have your own views, but you're basically part of that team. What's her own views on some of these issues? And it's going to be whether the border, you know, is going to be a hot, contentious situation. Is anyone taking serious the debt that we have, the educational opportunities, or a lack of educational opportunities, or student, basically, performance, things of this sort? These all need to be talked about. And we seem to be basically people who are opposed to Donald Trump is thinking that's going to carry the day. It's not. People want issues.
You said, I'm pursuing the process. Are you going to...
I'm just continuing to push this process.
You're going to push the process. Are you considering running?
The people are pushing in that direction, and it's something if they're pushing that direction. I've said, let's pass the torch to a new generation. There's an awful lot of people that you've shown on the screen that now they're considering as vice president. Nobody's been through a process knowing really where they stand. Joe Biden went through a process in 2020 against an awful lot of left parts of our party, and the party went with someone centrist that thought they could win. Are we in that same category right now? Are we in a centrist category, or are we in a far left category? Think about this, Casey. I'm an independent now. 51% of people participating in an electoral process are registered independents. Only 23% are registered Democrats. Only 25% are registered Republicans. If either side can't capture that middle, which is where the center of this country, where the common sense, and you know, they just want to tap it down a little bit and not push on to me, even though you think that's part of the policy and you're playing to the base. Is that where the country is? I don't think. Why is there 51% like me? How do they win back Democrats like me?
Do you think you could win the nomination at a Democratic convention?
It's almost impossible for anybody at this point in time once it's been anointed. First of all, I want to thank the President Biden. I've known him for a long time. I've considered him a friend, and I said with heavy heart yesterday, but here's a person that can put every minute of his remaining term towards doing the job of president, trying to bring peace in the Middle East, trying to make secure our position with Ukraine to defend itself and fight for the freedoms that we want them to have and they want. And then make sure that we show with grace and dignity how you transfer power, superpower of the world. He can do all of that and have the greatest legacy. I thank him for everything he's done. I haven't always agreed, he knows that, but we've worked through our differences. I haven't worked with Kamala any at all, to be honest with you, so we'll see what happens.
Would you consider being Kamala Harris's vice president?
No. No, I'm not a vice. It's a new generation. You don't want a 76-year-old vice president right now.
Well, do we want a 76-year-old president?
Well, if he feels like he's 50, maybe.
Do you feel like you're 50?
Let me just say this. The process for the Democrats, try to win back that center. Joe Biden became president because the center believed that he was in the center. He always had been.
But if there's going to be a process, somebody's got to run against Kamala Harris. Is that going to be you?
Well, I don't think that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to see. The system, you would like to see some sort, you know, have some debates, have something. There's plenty of time. We act like there's no time at all. The European countries, or UK, they have them within 2 or 3 months and do very well.
6 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
Would you run as an independent?
Well, Bernie tried that, but they said he couldn't be an independent, so he had to be an independent Democrat. A socialist independent Democrat is what, you know. And I respect where Bernie came from, and he's still an independent. And if I was going to do that, you know, would I change back to a Democrat? Those are things that have been talked about. It just came about so quickly. I haven't really processed that or gone through it. I have been very humbled by people calling and asking, would you consider, would you talk about. I says, my main thing is that we have a voice. I want the middle to have a voice. I want the center of this country to be able to say we have a voice. We're not extreme left, we're not extreme right. I don't run my life that way.
Right.
Why do I have to only have two choices of a party that basically have taken the extremes?
You've mentioned Bernie. Have you explored the process, what it would take for you to be able to put
I
your hat
haven't
in the
gotten
ring?
into any of that right now, no.
Are you willing to re-register as a Democrat if you need to?
I haven't given that serious thought right now. I can tell you why I left and not becoming a
we
Democrat.
understand. Yeah.
No, because of this. I was raised as a Democrat, lifelong Democrat.
Yeah.
Nothing but that. But I was always fiscally responsible and socially compassionate. I always wanted to give people a hand up, and I believe they had to earn everything and basically not being given out. I believed in John Kennedy. Ask not what your country can do for you, what you can do for your country, and not the premise now, how much more can my country do for me? We've gotten off course, and we need to get back on course, and the country wants to get back on course, and I hope people have enough courage
Is
to do
Kamala
that.
Harris going to keep us on the wrong course?
I have no idea. You don't know that because there's no process to go through. Is it basically full steam ahead? Is it basically some adjustment? I think it would help Kamala to have a little bit of a process to where she could explain, articulate, and have a dialogue.
All right. Senator Joe Manchin, always grateful to have you.
Always good to be with
Never
you,
dull.
Casey. Never dull. That's unbelievable, and it just seems to keep happening.
It does indeed. All right, Senator, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for coming in.